Hello, everyone. Sorry about the few minutes of delay. I had a bit of an internet issue. I'm hoping to see if I'm able to relay now. Let's see if anybody can say if they can hear or see me. That would be great. Okay. All right. It looks like you guys are able to hear me. Perfect. All right. Just gonna wait for a few more minutes while I set up my easel. I hope everybody is having a great Sunday so far. I'm on the West Coast, so I still have a couple more hours to enjoy this weekend. Okay. So so today I'll be doing a still life, and you would have got the email from me regarding what I will be training. Um, so I wanted to share about painting the light. Okay. I'm getting some comments here. Just making sure you guys are able to hear me. All right. Perfect. Okay. All right. So today I want to talk about painting the light. Sometimes I have students coming in, and it's a bit tricky for them to try to understand if like what painting the light is versus what painting objects is. So most of the time, when we are starting to paint, and if we are coming from a drawing background, all we are accustomed to doing is to actually trying to define the scene or a shape or an object as much as possible. So during that translation, we tend to forget to what the priorities are and what the important elements are. When it comes to oil painting, we have to keep the drawing or going into the detail bit aside, at least until the very end of the painting. So when it comes to oil painting, what you're actually trying to do is trying to capture the light first. So since everything is illuminated by the light, even though if it's a very dark scene, without light we cannot see the shapes or objects around us, right? So we have to first change our perception from trying to define an object and versus trying to capture what the light is illuminating. Okay, so all we're trying to do in oil painting is trying to replicate or trying to get our own perception of what the light is illuminating around us. Okay, so this simplifies a lot of things because now you're not focused on what the object is or whether you are able to draw that object or not, because light, when it illuminates an object, doesn't really care about what it's illuminating. It just illuminates the objects nonetheless, right? So at this moment, we don't really care about whether we are technically able to learn how to draw an object or not. But all we are doing is trying to find where the light hits and moves towards the shadows. That's all there is to it. Okay? All right. So, do you have any questions before I start my demo? I just want to make sure that everybody is on page to understand what I'm doing today. I'll be doing this demo for roughly 40 to 45 minutes. I'm not sure if I'll be able to complete it by then, but I just wanted to keep it to a very short time frame so that everybody is able to uh, catch up on in this second part of this demo. All right. Okay. And yeah, I wanted to thank everybody who came to my masterclass yesterday. I still have to send out the replays for those who were able to attend, but they were not able to stay for the entirety of the masterclass. My plan is to have another this weekend, because so many of them asked me after the masterclass if they were able to watch later. So I thought instead of that, I'll probably do another live again. So it's going to be this Saturday. So I'm going to be sending the link for that soon. So just watch out for the space in the group. All right. Okay. Where is my paints? Okay. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions at all? So this is a 6 by 8 canvas. It's a very small frame canvas, so I'm not going to be doing a big demo this time. Let's see if I can minimize my screen here. All right, that's much more like it. All right, if you guys are able to see this well, let me know, or I'll probably readjust my screen again. All right. So at this point, as okay, so I have sent all of you the image which I'll be working on today. So it must have been you must have got an email an hour ago. So if you haven't got the email, please let me know. I will resend after this demo is done. But yeah, if you have subscribed to the Oil Painters group, then you should have got an email. Okay, let's see. All right. So before we even begin to do any of the block-in, we have to understand what it is that interests us here, and we need to see where the light is illuminating the objects, right? So we have to first understand how much room we are going to cover. Okay, so that's the composition itself. So we're not worried about the rules of composition just yet. We're just trying to understand, okay, where it is that we want to keep all the objects. So let's say I am going to keep the vase here. It's way too dark, so I'm just going to make it a little lighter, the oxide. So I'm going to keep that vase right in the center. Again, at this moment, we are not concerned about the size or the shapes of anything. We are just seeing where the objects should be, and later we'll come back and we'll describe all the details. Just block in, coming up. And then we have another pair. I think it's an apricot. Okay, so we call it an apricot here. So let me know if you're able to hear me well. I'm just gonna put it here so that you can hear me. All right. The shadow. Okay, and then this was right here. I'm just gonna keep it really subtle. So I'm just gonna not be worried much about it at the moment. It's just gonna be probably I might not include it at all because my main focus of attention is just these two. All right, okay. I'm not going to include that one as well. So I'm just going to keep it here. And so we have another small leaf that's here. So I'm going to probably include that. And yeah. Okay, so basically this is just a very brief idea of where things are going to be. And I'm pretty happy with it. Like at this moment, we're not concerned about any shape or any detailing at all. All we're trying to do is with respect to the area of the canvas, if you're happy with the placement of the objects. All right. Okay. Okay. So now, after we have done that, we first try to establish a strong darks, because darks as you, if you have watched the last uh, video which I made on importance of darks are crucial because they help us understand where the lights have to go. Okay, so if you're able to understand where the lights have to go, then it means that you are not confused, and the audience will it'll make the audience to view your painting much easier, because you don't want to give them any doubt as to where the light is coming from. You have to make it very easy for them to understand, because if you if you're able to make them easy enough to understand where the light is coming from, then you will have to put less details in the painting, because then the brain of the audience will just focus on what it needs to complete the painting. All right, so you are trying to give them as little information as possible so that they are able to make out what it is that interests them and what it is that we want to convey in our painting. Okay, so I'm just going to make a very strong dark here. All right. Again, or try to connect all the darks as much as you can. Okay, because that way you'll be able to keep all the shapes very simple. Try to connect the darks as much as you can. Going here, this one's going here. Okay, so for this one, usually when you have like a white flower or anything that's white, try to see what color the shadows are. That way you won't be able to fight with the whites of the object, and you'll be able to define more with the help of its shadows. So all we are trying to do is see very big shapes. Right? Okay, so the same thing for now. I'm just going to put the same thing over here. Right. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Let me cancel this overlay that's going on here. Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So let me know if you want me to add anything or convey anything during my session here. So once you have laid down here, you have to try to finish the painting as you start. Okay, so anything that you feel should be done from the very start, you should do it now. For example, over here, you have this very beautiful highlight which is going on this vase. So I'm just gonna put that here. Okay. So this way we know the direction of where it is that we want to go. All right. And probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding this small apricot that's hanging out over here as well. Just a small one. So I'm just going to be putting a very, very small apricot here. Okay, not concerned about where it has to go. Okay. For now, just put it there, and then we can worry about the detailing at the end. Okay. All right. So now I'm just going to worry about just adding a bit of light to this vase. So let's see. So as you see, we haven't really done much at all. All we are trying to do here is just add. First, we made the darks, and now we are just going to add just enough information in the lights so that the audience is now able to gather information from what we are providing it. Probably what I'm going to do for this demo is that I'll just make a block-in of the entire piece, and then the next demo, I will try to finish the painting. So we have this beautiful vase coming up. That was your highlight. Again, just try to see where the transition is going to happen. So I'm going to leave the transition right over there. All right. Okay. Any questions so far? Please let me know. Now again, same thing with this apricot as well. I'm just going to make a little information of the starting apricot. Just going to keep that guy. Okay. Again, I don't want to have much information over here. I want to have the movement of light coming in and then boom, going out. So I want to have my object of attention right over here. Okay. So as I want to have a lot of attention for this apricot. I'm going to have a lot of light coming in over here. So as you see here, we are just playing with the paint. We're not worried much about the reference at all. Reference is only for us to understand where the object have to go, or where the placement of object should be based on the canvas. But after that, you have to make your decisions based on the marks, what's already there on the canvas. Okay, all right. I'm going to have a strong transition over there for this apricot. And after I do the background, probably I'll work on that apricot a little bit more. But for now, I'm just going to keep it very simple. If you want to have a lot of impact on anything, keep it as flat as you can. Okay, lay the paint and leave it there. If you want, again, you do not have as much of a highlight on apricot as much as you have on this vase because of the nature of the surface of the object. This one has a bit of a very strong and very hardened texture, so you get a highlight. But for an apricot, you don't have it because material is a bit soft, so you don't get as much of an highlight as over here. But if you want to make it look lit up, all you have to do is make the region over here slightly washed up. If you make it slightly washed up, it'll look as if it's okay. All right. Again, for here, I'm not so much worried about what's going to happen over here. So I'm just going to leave this apricot hanging for now. All right. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the foreground, and then I'm going to finish the background, and then I'm going to finish all these objects over here. So let's see what I can do to make the foreground interesting. All right, okay, so I'm just going to keep this very simple. Keep it very, very simple at this moment. Okay, there's a leaf, so I'm going to worry about that leaf later. Again, just make it as quickly as you can. You don't have to spend a lot of time here. Okay, all right. At this moment, all we are doing is giving it a bit of a space for it to sit on, and then we're going to worry about how dark or light the foreground should be. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, I have a few questions here. Is it possible to view your palette too while you're painting? I haven't set up to view the palette as yet, but I'll try to do it next time. I just didn't have much time around to adjust my easel for this session, but yeah, I'll give it a try next time. Okay, so I'm going to probably have the table go up to here. I think that's a good enough height. Okay. Again, I'm not concerned much about what's happening here. I'm just gonna do more about it later. Just gonna bring it a little higher. There. Okay. All right. Okay. So now for the background. Just gonna keep it very, very simple. So this was taken in my garden yesterday. So just want to make something very neutral at this point. I'm not that worried about the background for now. All I'm doing here is just giving it a nice soft background. And again, you can always change your backgrounds later, but for now I just wanted to add in so that I can move on to the second layering of the painting. Keep this guy here. I'm gonna lighten this area as it comes close to the object for now. Again, keep it as simple as you can. So here I have some interesting shapes going. So I'm just gonna play with it and bring some drama to the background here. All right. Okay, any questions so far? So as you see here, it's trying to come out more now. And here, if you see, we are having a kind of a movement going from left to the right. Okay. So just to make this visible here, I'm just going to add a little bit of light. I'm going to have a very soft play here. So I'm not that much worried about the shape of this vase here. All I wanted to show you in this demo was that once you change your perception from painting the object and going for the light, then everything gets really, really easy. Okay. Keep it simple here. Alright, so now I'm just going to work a little bit on this vase. Just to give it a bit of definition. And from this apricot, you're going to have a bit of highlight. Okay, so there we have that. And I'm just going to add a bit of light to this flower in the front, just to give it a bit of definition. It's got a very strong light going on here, so let me just play with that for a minute. Catching a bit of a light at the very tail end here. And again, this is not final, so we're going to come back later and adjust this, but just wanted to add some definitions here. There, okay. I forgot to add the shadows for the flowers. I'm just going to do that now. It's got a very cool shadow. This was taken yesterday around 6 o'clock. So it's like almost like a evening lighting. So you'll have a cool shadows around that time. There. Darks give solidity to the objects. So just have a nice dark wherever you can. Again, for this one, I'm just going to add it and then giving it a cast shadow here. All right. And whatever the background I had here, I'm just going to make the same thing for this apricot. Just like that. There. All right. So now I'm just going to make the top of the vase here, which I have missed earlier. So as it goes up, it's able to catch more of that light. Bring back the highlight here. Again, highlight is the color of the light. So it's got nothing to do with the object. So it catches it over here as well. Okay. Just try to make it as aesthetically pleasing as you want. So I'm just going to add a bit more color to the vase over here. Okay. The shadows on this flower are slightly warm on one side and cooler on the others, but to simplify it, I'm just going to keep it cooler. All we are doing here is playing with the light. Again, this is just a block-in, so we still have a long way to go. But as you see here, in just 20 minutes, we can actually do a lot of damage to this painting. Okay. Okay. So that's that. Then over here, we are just going to bring back some of the shape back to that vase. Yeah, that's much better. It's very easy to change the shape of anything when it comes to oils. Always know that you are in control of your painting at all times. So you're not in the mercy of the reference or whatever you're painting from. You have a choice. So as it goes up here, it's catching a lot of the slides. I'm gonna play with that. Okay. So for now, I'm just gonna make this guy a bit orangey. I don't like the way he is right now. So I'm just gonna make him a little bit orangey. Okay. Just gonna play with that leaf later on, but I just wanted to add it before I forget. Okay. How long have we gone for? Okay, 50 minutes. Perfect. So we have 10 more minutes to finish up this block. Okay, any questions so far? Please write me in the comments. So I'm just going to finish this foreground a bit. It's slightly overpowering, so I'm just going to keep it a little simpler. All I'm doing here is just trying to add a bit more paint to my foreground. There. Just keep it very simple. So as you see here, even though we barely did any foreground, but even with so much details, you're able to get so much color and light out of it. Okay. So before we go, I just wanted to make a little bit more definition of this guy here. Again, you're just going to keep it very subtle. Okay, just wanted to add that in, but we can worry about it later when we are trying to finish the painting. We can use the background to make the object. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to keep that very light. So, yeah. So for this one, I just want to give it a little bit more color, just a little. There. So the light comes in, it catches a bit of this, then you have this flower, then you have the vase, and all the impact is happening over here. Okay, so that's how you play with the movement of light. Okay, so for now I'm going to leave it at this. Probably just add a little bit of a little bit of color to this guy over here. To make it very solid. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to leave it at here. And in the next class, we're going to further develop this and try to make it complete. Okay, so all I've done here is I've first tried to understand what is the direction of light. So I have it coming in from here. So it's hitting this apricot here, the flower here, then this vase here, and all the impact is going to be taken by this apricot here, and then it moves out. So this guy here acts like a stopper. So I'm just going to further develop him later, but so that it stops the movement from going out. So it comes in here and then again it starts to go back. If you don't have this here, this can do the job of that. However, it's much easier if he's able to hold a bit of light and then allow the viewer to come back in again. Okay, so that's how you can use the role of stoppers in your painting. Okay, so that's about it. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more on this subject matter. So as I was explaining before, you need to understand the it's not so much about the object, but it's about the light. So this way you are able to do any painting because all you're focused on is the light. So if you see here, I barely had the object, right? Like none of the objects I had the outline. But if you're able to convey as much details with the light and then with the help of the background and the foreground, you can make a nice shape irrespective of how simple or complicated it is. Okay, and so this is a very so this lighting is a bit harsh because it was taken outdoors, but you can play with such still life objects right beside your window. You can just keep it and you can just have it without the sunlight hitting directly. But I just wanted it slightly extreme to make my point across. So try out few still lives at your home. Let me know. You can post it in our group on Facebook, and probably tomorrow or day after I'll further work on this and I'll have another live demo and we can go from there. So yeah, so in case if you guys are interested to join the masterclass happening this Saturday, please let me know. You can write in the comments below, and yeah, and some of you have asked me regarding my art program. So that's called the Creative Leap Academy. So you need to drop in a text. You can just text me or just hit apply in the comments below. I'll send you a message. It's a very comprehensive platform where I just take you through, and within 90 days, you'll have a cohesive, strong body of work. So I'll be working with you thoroughly in those 8, 9 weeks, and the program is lifetime. So you can watch the videos and you can interact with me for lifetime, and I'll give you feedback on your work and help you in your artistic journey. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And just wanted to make sure if there were any questions which I haven't addressed before. Okay. Looks like there's not no questions as such. So I'm just going to leave it there. I'll reply to all the comments once this is done. Thank you. It just went slightly over an hour, so I apologize for that. I hope you guys have the great rest of the Sunday. I'll see you again tomorrow or day after. Thank you. Bye bye.